Welcome back to the Successful Diligence podcast. I wanted to make sure that you were aware of how valuable you are to us and me here at Successful Diligence as a listener of the podcast. It means so much that you allow me to provide value through the podcast and that you listen and you show up and you invest your time. It means the world to me and I so appreciate it. One way that you can show your appreciation for the podcast, if you've gotten any value from anything we've ever said is you can support us financially so that we can continue to provide the value that you've come to know from the Successful Diligence podcast. And it can be literally less than a cup of coffee a day, 99 cents per month. That's less than $1 per month, all the way up to $5, $10, however much you want to give. But as little as $1, less than $1, 99 cents, that would make such a difference to us. You can go to the show notes and you can click the link where listener support is highlighted. There's different links in the show notes, or you can go to anchor.fm/successful diligence /support, and you can sign up there, and literally it's one time per month, 99 cents, less than a cup of coffee, and yet you would be having an impact on supporting this podcast to bring more value, reach more people, to have a greater impact in the world. And we appreciate in advance any support that you're able to provide. Again, anchor.fm/successful diligence /support, or you can click the link in the show notes and show your support financially. We appreciate it and we thank you in advance. Today I want to talk about being ready. And when I say being ready, what I do not mean is having all your ducks in a row, all your T's crossed, all your I's dotted, having everything perfectly lined up, having everything that you set out to do all lined up and checking all the boxes. When I say be ready in the sense of be open to possibility. And I'm talking about being open to possibilities in reference to the goals that you set for yourself, for the opportunities that you desire, for those concepts and characteristics that you want to integrate into your being to become the best version of yourself. I always say this, and I can't remember where I heard it. It's an Agmandino quote, and I can't remember. I heard it years ago, but it's been such an encouragement to me over the years. And the quote is, "When the student is ready, the teacher appears." And it's such a fascinating concept that you have to be a certain person of yourself. So you know that as we develop, there's different versions of yourself. And as you grow and integrate wisdom and knowledge and experience into who you are, you become a different person. And, you know, in marriage, we always say the person that you date is not the person that you marry. The person that you marry is not the person that you end up with, because you are supposed to always be evolving and developing into the best version of yourself, into the person that you're ultimately going to become in your life. And so this quote, "When the student is ready, the teacher appears," has always been an encouragement for me, because I know and I trust and I have faith that when I become who I need to be and I'm ready for that next step, the lesson, the teacher will appear. Now, the teacher is not always in the package that I may want. Sometimes the teacher is in a challenge, or the teacher is in a hardship, or the teacher is in a tight situation, or an uncomfortable situation, or a boundary establishing situation. Sometimes it's a positive experience that teaches you how to celebrate and how to, understand self-care. So we don't always choose, and we don't get to choose, but we don't always get the teacher in the package that we necessarily want. But the lesson that we need to learn to take us to that next level for success, to take us to that next level of becoming the best version of ourselves, that lesson, that teacher will come into our lives when we are ready for it. And by ready, meaning that we are the person we need to be at that moment to be open to learning and experiencing the lesson and the teacher. And it's interesting. And so I always am fascinated by life and people and human behavior and all of that. And it's so fascinating to me to look back over my shoulder in my own life and see that this is true, and look at other people's lives and my clients and my students and my mentees and see how it manifests in their life as well. That when we are the person that we need to be and ready for that lesson, ready for that teacher, it comes in our life and it manifests. And until you conquer that lesson, you're going to continue to have it in your life. You're going to continue to go around that mountain until you conquer it. And then you move on to the next lesson. And it's interesting, even when we're not looking for it, it's going to come in our life. And so sometimes we're surprised by situations or challenges or circumstances. And I encourage you to look around and think about, okay, what in my life did I just conquer or master? And what is it that I'm working towards that I need to master and conquer? And then take a self-inventory and be encouraged and understand that you are ready and equipped to learn a new lesson, to learn a new challenge, to incorporate new wisdom and knowledge and skills to go to that next level that you're seeking to go to become that next version of yourself and strip away the layers that are not serving you and bring in new layers that are serving you so that you can become who you need to become for that next stage of your life. And so be ready means be open, be aware, be conscious, be looking for the opportunities, for the teacher, for the lesson, so that you can embrace it, go through that learning process, incorporate all that you need to, release all that you need to, conquer, master, and then move on to the next, and celebrate along the way as well. And in the midst of that, choose gratitude, because that helps you maintain your focus. If it's a hard situation, if it's a uncomfortable circumstance, being grateful, having a stance and a focus of gratitude helps you know that it's working for your good, that it's going to benefit you, and everything will work out the way it's supposed to. And that will strengthen you to keep walking, which is why I always say keep walking, keep pushing, because there's purpose in the walking. There's purpose in the learning. The outcome is so much greater than the lesson. And so I encourage you to be ready, be open, be aware, be conscious, be looking for that next lesson, that next situation that's going to help you grow and become, to conquer and master that next goal, to become that best version of yourself. And be encouraged along the way. Be grateful along the way, because you're putting things in your backpack that you're carrying with you on your journey to be able to share with other people what you've learned and the way that you've learned it, which is uniquely you. So I hope that you found some value in this. Be encouraged, keep walking, and always, always choose gratitude. If you haven't heard about Ankur, it is the easiest way for you to make a podcast. It's free. The creation tools allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. So easy to use. And Ankur will distribute your podcast for you so that it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many, many more platforms. You don't have to upload. They do it all for you. You can also make money from your podcast, cha-ching, with no minimum listenership. I started making money with my first episode. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. Just go to your app store and download the free Anchor app, or you can go to anchor.fm to get started now. Anchor FM and get your podcast started.